within the interior of the United States. We saw millions of taxpayer dollars being funneled to NGOs that were spent on plane and bus tickets, hotel rooms, and even to coach illegal aliens on how to illegally stay in the country. Heck, we have a congresswoman who is currently coaching illegal aliens on how to stay in the country, what terms to use, even if they are untruthful. Now, Dr. Resch, how does transporting millions of unvetted illegal aliens into our country make America safer? And how does stopping the funding of those NGOs harm America?
That is tangential and irrelevant to myself.
Oh, it is not irrelevant.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a heated discussion that's been making waves recently. Representative Lauren Boebert took the floor to address some serious concerns about how taxpayer money is being spent. From the Wuhan lab to the Doge Commission, there's a lot to unpack. So make sure to stick around to the end because I'll break down all the key points you need to know. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update. All right.
Expired. Chair recognizes Ms. Boebert from Colorado.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The outrage here has been absolutely unhinged. As we've seen in the media, we're seeing Politico, who's laying folks off, and as they're being defunded of American tax dollars, they can no longer sustain themselves. And so the outrage is just going to continue from those who are no longer going to be able to support their businesses from American taxpayers, and we simply want accountability. We want oversight. This is the Oversight Committee, and unfortunately, Congress has done a crap job of oversight and accountability over quite some time, I would say decades, and that is why we have this new commission that is created, and Americans are grateful for it. President Trump campaigned on having this Doge Commission to have oversight and accountability, and it is our responsibility to codify what happens. I am pleased with the expedited efforts that have taken place to really get this out in the open and expose to the American people what their money is actually being sent to. And let's just be honest with the American people. Unelected bureaucrats have been funneling their hard-earned taxpayer dollars to ridiculous and even malicious causes. Doge is doing the hard work to uncover the truth and make our government work for the people rather than funding policies that are actively hurting them. For example, Dr. Resch, in your testimony, you state that the recommendations from the Department of Government Efficiency will exacerbate public health crises. How is that the case when Doge is advocating to defund EcoHealth Alliance, which was involved in the research in the Wuhan lab that created coronavirus, that created this global pandemic that killed people and ended the livelihoods of many others?
My statement was in reference to across-the-board firings without specific
I think government employees have been given the option. They can have an.
And those that will be given the option will be more competitive on a private market basis than those that stay. So then you'll be losing your best public employees.
Were our best public employees at the Wuhan lab of virology? Were those our best employees? Was that where our funding was going, to the best and the brightest who started a global pandemic?
I'm saying when you make a 20% across the cut without any
I think there's been a lot of inefficiencies, and I'm excited to see where this goes and the exposure of that. And Dr. Resch, the last administration weaponized NGOs to aid and abet illegal aliens across and within the interior of the United States. We saw millions of taxpayer dollars being funneled to NGOs that were spent on plane and bus tickets, hotel rooms, and even to coach illegal aliens on how to illegally stay in the country. Heck, we have a congresswoman who is currently coaching illegal aliens on how to stay in the country, what terms to use, even if they are untruthful. Now, Dr. Resch, how does transporting millions of unvetted illegal aliens into our country make America safer? And how does stopping the funding of those NGOs harm America?
That is tangential and irrelevant to myself.
Oh, it is not irrelevant. Let's go through the list of relevancy, shall we? When we have open borders allowing millions of illegal aliens coming into our country unvetted, then the relevancy is in terms of Laken Riley, Jocelyn Nungary, Rachel Morin, Ruby Garcia, Elizabeth Medina, and I could go on and on and on and on with the American citizens who were killed at the hands of illegal aliens. So I think it's pretty relevant to say we need to look into these NGOs and what they are doing with these unvetted illegal aliens coming into our country and remaining into our country. Would you agree? Does that bring some relevancy to the topic, sir?
Not to workforce cuts across the American public service.
Well, but we're also talking about the funding that is going out. We are cutting spending at an executive level, and I hope that we codify all of that here within these chambers to ensure that it doesn't go out again. Now, in your testimony, you also mentioned that DOGE proposals reflect an agenda to dismantle professional government. According to you, this is fundamentally at odds with the principles of democratic governance. In November, President Trump won by a decisive mandate promising to maximize governmental efficiency and productivity. And how are actions, these actions fulfilling the president's campaign promises fundamentally at odds with the principles of democratic governance? And while my time is running out, I want you to answer that, sir. But we hear about unelected folks. Democrats didn't even get a chance to vote for their own presidential candidate in their primary. So don't talk to me about unelected people actually being involved in the decisions in this country. But I would like to hear how that's at odds, sir.
I have no response to that.
Well, that's
Mr.
kind of
Chairman, the gentlelady.
I yield. Thank you.
Now, let's talk about the DOGE Commission, a big part of Boebert's push for accountability. She's all in on this commission, which she believes will ensure that taxpayer money is used efficiently. The main goal of the commission is to expose inefficiencies in government spending and shine a light on where our money is really going. It's clear that Boebert sees this as a step in the right direction to clean up the system. And here's the thing, if you're as passionate about government accountability as she is, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any updates on this topic. One of the most controversial points Boebert brought up was the EcoHealth Alliance and its connection to the Wuhan lab. She questions why taxpayer funds were being funneled into research that could have contributed to the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. She suggests that these kinds of funding decisions raise serious concerns about government priorities. Could this research have played a role in the pandemic? What's your take on that? Drop your thoughts below. I'm really curious to hear what you think about the whole Wuhan lab controversy. Last but not least, Boebert made it clear that government inefficiency and the misuse of taxpayer dollars need to be addressed immediately. She specifically calls out the previous administration for allegedly spending millions on assisting illegal immigrants, including funds for transportation, shelter, and even legal advice. She argues that this spending could have been better used to protect American citizens and boost security. This is definitely a hot topic that sparked a lot of debate. Do you agree with her stance, or do you think these funds were justified? Let me know your perspective in the comments. So, to wrap up, Lauren Boebert is making some serious claims about the inefficiency of government spending, the misuse of taxpayer dollars, and the need for a new commission to oversee all of this. From the Wuhan lab to illegal immigration, there's a lot of ground to cover. I'd love to know your thoughts on all of this. Do you agree with Boebert's points, or do you have a different take on the situation? Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you found it informative, and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss a video like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.